I had occasion to live and work in the United States and thoroughly enjoyed it. And so what are you seeing out there with Canadians who are engaging, and what are some of the most, I guess, frequently addressed myths about the process that you both have to address?
So I think a lot of people, they believe that it's very difficult.
Mhm.
And, growing up myself in Bolton, Ontario, I think my mom can agree as well. We both thought that this would be a very hard process. But there are a lot of visas out there, some specifically for Canadians,
Mhm.
that are not hard to obtain, especially if you have the right team. So a lot of our clients, I think, are pleasantly surprised by how fast it can be and how easy it can be. Um, what myths? I don't know. What myths do you think, Rocky? What myths are there out there that are not true?
Well, under the current affairs that are happening politically and cross-borderly, if we want to call it that, so many people are frightened and they think that, I'm going to cross the border, I'm going to get detained.
Mm.
Um, the Canadian media has, I know that there's one instance where a Canadian tried to enter at the Canadian-US border. She had overstayed in the United States, essentially making her illegal.
Mhm.
And when she tried to reapply, she was denied at the Canadian border. So then she flew to Mexico and tried to enter through the Mexican border. And at that point, she was detained. So I've heard all kinds of clients, is it safe? I'm going to get detained. The answer is no, you're not going to get detained. Americans still love Canadians. We haven't seen any issues whatsoever. If your passport is in order, your documents are in order, there's no reason why you should have any issues at the border. There's also a bit of I know that the whole immigration thing with the current administration, yes, they are cracking down on illegal immigration. However, legal pathways are still there. Like the E2 visa has been, some form of the E2 visa has been around for 200 years.
Mm.
When he was in power the last time, nothing changed with the E2 visa. I mean, small business owners, the backbone of America and Canada, bringing in money, expertise, opening businesses, creating jobs, the doors are wide open. So there's a lot of that going on, which isn't true. So we have a lot of clients calling, and thankfully, Mena's put out some videos as well addressing some of these concerns. So it's full steam ahead if you want to pursue different types of visas. Those are still in play.
Well, it's not like the Canadian media to take a little bit of information and jump to an absurd conclusion.
Anything to get clicks and views.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell you a story that really highlighted something to me. There was a video that I saw, and it was basically a person talking about how angry the Canadians are at the US for the proposed tariffs. And the video went on to say, you should be upset at your own government for high income taxes, loss of freedoms. He went on and listed some things that as Canadians, we should maybe pay attention to. I tried to share that video with my sister who resides in Ontario. And she messaged me and said, why are you sending me videos about hairdressing? And I said, that's interesting. I didn't. So then I tried sending it to my nephew, and he had the same response. The only way I could show her the true video was to FaceTime her and play it on my husband's cell phone. Somehow it was, I didn't even know they had the capability to do that. It was received and the video was switched, and I wasn't able to share it. There have been a few times where we've tried to share, specifically there was an air show in Fort Lauderdale, and I tried to share it on the Facebook group. Hey guys, this cool air show in Fort Lauderdale. And everyone started replying saying the content was blocked because wasn't me taking a video of the air show. It was on a news outlet in Florida. And so that news outlet was blocked in Canada. So I started to realize that the censorship in Canada is more than we first, believed it to be. So
Well, I
yeah.
can share with you from firsthand experience that going through the visa process, having done that twice now. My first was on an executive L1 visa, which my employer at the time was able to speed up the process, legally, and everything went through just fine. And then when we established business in the United States, because we operate there now,
Yeah.
the process seemed very, it was time consuming because we had to supply a business plan and what
Right.
our projected revenues and headcount would be. And when we went through the first renewal, then there was a review of that and an update provided. And so it seemed like there was no friction in the process. So when I hear people's concerns, my first question is like, have you substantiated those concerns? Like, have you spoken to an expert who can actually address that? Or are you relying on Uncle Google or Chat GPT or
Right.
some other platform to give you the information? Like, you've got to get connected with a team like the both of you and to sit down and say, here's what my plans are. Does this qualify me? What is your method of helping me get this achieved? And just get all that clarity. And you'll find that the process is not as difficult as it may be purported to be.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. You just got to follow the basic rules. And if you have the right immigration team on your side who can properly guide you and put your paperwork together and file in a timely manner. I mean, sometimes there's little hiccups that we can't foresee. We have to deal with that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, with our E2 visa applications, for example, we have 100% approval.
That's a pretty good rating.
Yeah, men on the legal team, very meticulous. They make sure everything's in proper order before they sign. That we offer a guarantee on it too, just to let our clients know, hey, we're in this with you. Mm-hmm. So, we're not here to guide you on a path that leads nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and having been through it ourselves, I would have hated to start the process, get everything in order, and it leads nowhere. So we want our clients to know we've been there. We know exactly how you feel every step of the way, and we're here to guide you. It's like big brothers watching. We're going to take good care of you and make sure nobody messes around with you. So that's why we added the other legal services, because clients were asking, we want rather just come to you for everything. And, Mena did a great job of adding those practice areas and making sure that we can take care of the full gamut of what our clients need.
That's incredible.
That compliment, Mom.
Okay.
I would like to get into a little bit of what we offer outside of immigration. If that's
okay. Please do. Yeah, please.
So we found that a lot of our clients, just like us, they came to Florida or Texas or whatever state they wanted to immigrate to, and they didn't know how things worked, right? So when we got here, we were like, what do all these things mean? And how do I protect myself? And it was kind of scary because if you don't have the knowledge, then you feel like kind of vulnerable, right?
Right.
So one of the practice areas that we introduced was and is estate planning and asset protection. So in Canada, it's harder to get sued than it is in the United States. I'm sure you know about this, Jayson. So what we offer is asset protection through entity formation, trusts, and then any kind of document that they're going to need to protect any of those assets after they pass away or if in the event they're incapacitated. So that kind of went along with their journey. And then we also set up a relationship with a business law attorney that helps with a lot of the business closings that they need to undergo for the E2 visa. So part of the E2 is that they have to buy a business or invest in a business. And so we even help facilitate the closing or the purchase of that business as well.
That's fantastic. And that's exactly what people need, because getting the visa is one thing. Once you're over the border, again, having been through that experience and moving to the United States,
Mm-hmm.
I was very grateful to have a step-by-step, here's everything that you need to put into place. And the sooner you get it done, the better. And something as simple as going to the Social Security office and getting set up and getting all that done. And then going and getting a driver's license and going and there are so many different things that, and you're right. I mean, America is, not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but much more there's far more litigation that, and it's much easier to just, if you disagree, sue.
Right.
Versus Canada. Yeah, it's much different. And but I'll say doing business in America is relieving.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a much different experience.
Oh, way
Yeah.
different.
Everyone, the mindset's different, right?
Yeah.
I remember back home, I was always doing something or creating a business, and everyone was looking at me like, why don't you just go to work like everybody else,
Yeah.
Whereas, and then that's fine, I admire my best friend is corporate, and we laugh because I say I could never do what you do, and she says I could never do what you do, which is fine, right? But if you're entrepreneurial or you want to do a little bit more, United States, you just feel more support in that way. And even like with networking events and growing your business, it seems like everyone wants to help one another. I didn't feel that so much when I was in Canada.